Showtime did have a crazy year last year, though. When you look at right now, who's number one in boxing in regards to quality, consistent boxing content? Now, excuse me. I know you've heard the news already, but has anyone really talked about what this new Showtime PBC 3-year deal means? I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live, and we do our videos here live and uncut. So what I've done is I've scoured the depths of social media in the groups, fan opinion, and, read the articles from, the big wig, corporate boxing media members. And my job is to regurgitate all that stuff to you. So right now, Showtime is number one, right? Right? Is that an argument? Who are you going to say in regards to top fighters are number one in regard? Like, what network has the most consistent boxing title fights? What network, what promoter, manager, whatever you want to call him? Thank you, Al Haymon. Thank you ever so much. Has the most champions. When you hear about Top Rank, they have a massive, powered by Disney. Powered by Disney. They have a massive deal with ESPN. They want Al Haymon Showtime fighters. Eddie Hearn, Dazn, has 2 years to get this whole boxing thing off the ground before he can really get some money and start spending out. They're throwing a lot of money around Dazn. They're throwing so much money around, so much sweet moolah. But guess what? They want Showtime Al Haymon fighters. HBO, we don't know what they're doing. It's a whole different video I have to do on the fact that they may not pick up Kovalev versus Alvarez 2 or Alvarez versus Kovalev 2, the rematch. Right now, it's September the 1st, 2018. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Just a week from now, Danny Garcia is going to be taking on Sean Porter. And then after that, things get a little rocky for Showtime. We saw that earlier this year. They had that big extravaganza where they unveiled their first, half boxing schedule, and it was massive. Remember, we were supposed to see the return of Keith Thurman. Different video. I already talked about it. He's recovering from an injury. Broner versus Figueroa was supposed to happen, but we got Broner versus Vargas, which was equally a good fight. Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, and the list goes on. We've seen Mikey Garcia now fight twice. Sergey Lempinets, and then Robert Easter. So the issue is now that many of these Showtime fighters, these PBC Al Haymon fighters that we've been following for years, think about it. They're getting older now. They're getting long in the tooth. The guys like the Charlos, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. Even Errol Spence is a more seasoned guy in that PBC stable. They have to start fighting each other. They command a lot of money because they were making lots of money fighting C-level, D-level, and J-level guys, literally at one point in time. So ask yourself this. Hold on 1 minute. Ask yourself this. Do you think that the reason a lot of these guys were fighting once a year and all that was because they really wanted to? There wasn't enough dates to go around. Al Haymon went on that signing spree when Oscar De La Hoya was in rehab. It was a long time ago. The point is, when Al Haymon split from Golden Boy Promotions and Richard Schaefer and all that stuff went down, PBC Premier Boxing Champions was formed, and we were hearing we were going to get fighting, free fights on free television. At one point in time, without Showtime's assistance, we were getting fights on NBC. We were getting fights on CBS. There was talks of fights on ABC. We were getting a lot of fights. Midday Saturday afternoon, midday Sunday afternoon cards, Sunday night cards. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still getting a lot of fights. But the thing is, without the access to all those networks, Showtime Showtime as a subscription cable television service. Also, their Showtime Anytime app is awesome, by the way. They can't put on, they're not a sports network. They have so much other content. So they can't just say, well, we're going to spend all this money, whatever we want on boxing. They're given a certain amount to spend per year. So what I'm gathering is now they have more money. I'm guessing Showtime Sports president Stephen Espinoza went to the heads of Showtime and said, hey, listen, we got all these fighters. The market is getting aggressive as shit. We got motherfucking Dazn trying to come in, take our fighters. We got Top Ring trying to come in, take our fighters. We got fighters, bitches complaining and wanting to go over with those other brands because they're not getting no time on here. We need some more money. We got some lightning in the bottle over here. So I can dig it. I would have did the same thing. It's smart. They're like, listen, like with the money that's being thrown around, by Top Rank and ESPN, and the money that's being thrown around by the Zone, they couldn't just, and then you got other outside entities like Richard Schaefer trying to see where he could really, really squeeze in on his own. Then you got UFC Dana White looking like we want to get in, but that shit's aggressive right now. Showtime had to make a move. So the question is, where's this extra boxing going to go? I'm guessing that maybe, because remember, we haven't gotten a free CBS fight this year. And also, they're supposed to be closing in, meaning Al Haymon, also on a Fox deal. We've already been seeing, in fact, that's the last of the free TV networks we've been seeing them on is Fox. They've been solid cards, but not great cards. The ones we get on free Fox. And then you get, of course, the cards on Fox Sports. So I don't really, I got to do some more research on what's going on with the UFC, but we know that they're starting on ESPN. So I'm doubting we're going to see them on Fox after this year. So which means PBC may be able to put on more cards on Fox. So getting back to Showtime, I'm guessing we're going to start seeing more cards on Showtime Extreme, more cards streaming on their Facebook and or YouTube, because we're in an age now where we have to see the full cards. The days of us just seeing the main event or the co-feature, those days are over. Fans want to see the full cards. In this day of this technology and shit, for example, Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn been doing it. Box Nation been doing it overseas. They've been ahead of the curve, when it comes to that. Top Rank is doing it. It's the way to go. Showtime has been trying to do it. They've been working on it, but I'm guessing now they're going to bring back cards on Showtime Extreme, like they were doing. Maybe we'll see cards on Showtime 2. Maybe we'll likely see them go back to, PBC on CBS, even though it will be Showtime Championship Special Edition on CBS or something, so there's so many ways, different ways they can go, but they had to do this because, they were going to start losing fighters. So somebody had to make the call and say, hey, listen, we need some more bread. Like, yeah, we're doing good with boxing and we putting on more, like we're number one right now. And like, going back to HBO, we don't know what HBO's doing. I don't know what their deal is. Yes, they're still overall HBO. HBO is the number one, cable paid network service there ever has been for eternity. So, but when it comes to their boxing, they're not invested in the future of boxing. They're investing in the now. HBO's not doing nothing new and innovative with their boxing. They're still doing the same old shit, and they're cutting back on shit. And that's all across the board with shows and everything. So when it comes to Showtime, like, it's good to see that they're like, we're number one. We're not going to let these new motherfuckers come in here and think they're just going to be trying to take our fighters and do all this aggressive shit. Nah, we're going to ask for some more bread. Let me go skim through this article and see here. Get you some quotes. Here, let's go full screen. Let's see if we can get you some quotes here. Let's see if anything sticks out. I haven't read this yet. I mean, I skimmed through it. Over the past 7-year-plus, Showtime has developed the most comprehensive slate of boxing programming in the world, said Espinoza. We have consistently been recognized for making the most significant contributions to the sport of boxing, both financially and editorially. Building off our industry-leading live event schedule, This long-term deal with Premier Boxing Champions ensure that Showtime will remain number one destination for the world's greatest fighters and their passionate, diverse fans. By the way, this guy's always cool. I've had multiple interviews with him, and I like interviewing him because, he gives you like information like this. So, for example, I'm going to ask him, like these questions I have here. Like, well, does that mean Showtime has more money, and will you be putting fights on Showtime too? Or, can you explain in detail like what this really, really, really means? So I'm going to be driving up to New York on Thursday for the Garcia versus Porter final press conference. And truth be told, I'm literally just going to talk to him, even though obviously I'm going to talk to some other people. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, weird that I didn't see this coming, thinking that, oh, yeah, well, Showtime probably just going to, up their budget to try to get some more money because they've been doing really well. So I would think that whatever the pitch was from Al Haymon or Espinoza or whoever to whoever is above them in regards to, the budget for Showtime, if you're looking at it, they've been doing good, And then the fact that, they got Mayweather every now and then, whatever he did. Come on, Mayweather's not really, really retired. If he would come back, if somebody out of somewhere was able to generate him $100 million. So, I think it's warranted that Showtime, deserved a bigger budget with what they've given us over the last, several years. I would have never thought that I'd be saying Showtime was number one over HBO. Never. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Also, I'm salivating. I'm waiting for. Let's go check real quick. I'm talking about as soon as it goes live, I'm fucking around going to do a live stream. We're going to go all through this site. This is Dazn. The new and upcoming. Right now it's the first. They're launching on September the 21st. With their first fight. So what are they going to launch the week before or what? I want to take a look around this. We've also talked about ESPN. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about each of these networks and each of these boxing services and what they bring, because a lot of people be wanting to know this stuff. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.